establishing a Kelly Ripa of Live criticizes her talk show for having a double standard, saying, "I'm still waiting for career status." Kelly Ripa of Live has criticized her own program for applying a biased standard. As Kelly, 53, announced her Live with Kelly and Mark co-hosts October mug robbing results, a heated incident transpired. Before Kelly and her husband, 52-year-old co-host Mark Consuelos, played the trivia game Stump Mark, Kelly declared, "Let's see how well Mark is doing at keeping mugs from our trivia callers. Your October average is 619. She saw when she opened an envelope. Kelly exclaimed, "Is that good?" As Mark pumped his fists and clapped his hands gleefully. Comparing the statistic to a baseball player's batting average, Mark disclosed that a 619 would qualify one for the Hall of Fame. "Would you like to hear your career average?" Kelly inquired. The abruptly irate TV personality turned to face her producer before she could see the results and asked, "6 months here is a career. Good to know," she said further. "I'm still waiting for career status," she said, tapping Mark, before stating, "It takes women longer here." Kelly and a Live fan attacked Mark for being a monster during the trivia game after he won the daily Stump Mark segment. During the game, Mark had to determine if a competitor was the swim team coach or the coach for her son's t-ball team. Although Scottsdale, Arizona resident Joan offered him a number of intriguing hints to confuse him, Mark ultimately made the right guess. Joan sobbed over the phone as Mark presented his estimate, saying, "I'm not getting the mug." Later, she chuckled, but Mark appeared sincere in his sadness. "You're a monster," Kelly scowled at her spouse. Joan said, "He really is a monster." It appeared as though Mark felt regret. "Awa, Joan, I'm sorry you didn't win a mug or a t-shirt." He replied, "I'm very sorry about that today. At least your son was proud," he said, drawing laughter from the assembly. However, Joan was still in the running for a fantastic prize because she had the potential to win a trip. Rather than receiving a mug or a t-shirt, she ended up winning 8 days and 7 nights in Panama. Crazy as hell. Kelly recently dispatched one of her show-related fans to take Kelly's place in the seat next to Mark for a quick role swap. Kelly and Mark were spinning the wheel to decide which reward their caller would receive for the daily Fall into the Holidays travel trivia segment during a recent episode of Live. Kelly told someone off-screen that she intended to trade with the caller after landing on a trip to an upscale resort for her. Before Kelly talked to her, a woman by the name of Crystal stood off-screen at the side of the stage. This part was scheduled early in the performance, and she was both a dancer and a fan. "Should we do our trade, Crystal? Switching locations?" Kelly queried. In response, a beaming Crystal said, "I'd love to. Let us proceed." "We're going to switch places," Kelly remarked, allowing Crystal to take her spot in her seat. Kelly clarified that they were trading places since it was something they had always wanted to do and had already done once. Crystal took Kelly's seat and read effortlessly from her teleprompter. She gave the competitor instructions on what to do next in the game. While filling in for Kelly, she didn't miss a beat. In Crystal's place, Kelly danced to her heart's content. Such tight. Mark was wriggling on Live earlier in November because to a wardrobe malfunction. Kelly brashly assured that he would unbutton his pants at that very instant. The hosts of the show began by discussing the weather for the day. "This weekend, let's see what's going on," Mark stated, taking up a piece of paper to check the weather. "Oh, it's going to be dry." Then he said, "Brisk and cool. Dry procession. What is meant by that? Is Saturday the day of a parade?" Mark questioned their director. "Veterans Day," the crowd and producer informed him. As the others chuckled, Mark added, "Thank you," to one of the crowd members who had called out the explanation. Mark stood in front of the crowd and explained to them all why he had made the error. "Observe. How tight are these jeans?" He writhed in his seat and moaned, "I can't think." One of the producers muttered, "Wow," over to the side. "Well done, you." She laughed and added, "I did notice that," Kelly said. "They cut you like, they're tight," Mark remarked, giving his wife a nod. If you start fainting, I'll know to unbutton the top button," Kelly stated.